Hello again, everyone. It's the Global Speedrun Association back at it again with another 70-star race, this time between the legendary Puncayshun and Gainai. Now, this is a pre-recorded race, as we saw. Gainai just raced live against Drogi. This is actually postponed from last week, so we're finally getting this one out of the way to complete the scorecard. So,
Both runners,
Puncay,
of course, signing multi-million-dollar NDAs, so they have not spoiled the result until now. I'm just kidding.
Yep. So no one's really seen the results of this race aside from the runners and the facilitator that helped with the recording and everything. So these runners met at some previous time, did a race. It wasn't like they submitted a reset heavy run or anything like that. Like they just straight up did a no reset run together, starting at the same time, and it's just going to be viewed for the first time now. So we're about to see them start in just a moment here. Their timer's at the ready. And let's see what they have to offer here. Punkay, of course, known as the Consistency King, been playing a lot of WoW, but ultimately that hasn't seemed to affect his gameplay a whole lot. He does still seem to be able to pull out some really nice, like mid to high 48s, sometimes a 49. Gainai, as we saw, a nice high-level player, sometimes can be a little inconsistent. Like sometimes has some big mistakes that can pile up. As he said, he's been having some problems with Pillarless and with Lakitu bounce recently. So we'll see what exactly happens throughout this one. Both using that optimal English version, and we'll be off to the race in just a few seconds.
How many times do you suppose Punkay has seen this intro with Lakitu?
It has to be well into like the 10,000s, I feel like, maybe even 20,000s.
I was putting it at 20,000 as a low estimate. Because you figure he's probably done 10,000 something 120 runs, a ton of 70 runs, a ton of 16 runs. And you have your 01 runs, your meme runs, practice, casual playthroughs.
Yeah, like it has to be a lot at this point. And that's true.
Alright, here's the new cool meme long form run. You do a 24-hour stream, and it's Lakitu %. You just reset, do a Lakitu skip, reset, and see how many Lakitu skips you can get in 24 hours.
I mean, it's better than some of the other meme categories.
I would go insane after about 10 minutes.
Oh,
anyway,
Gainai missing a bomb clip there, like throwing the bomb a little too early looked like, or maybe his angle's a little bit off. Going with an alternate camp setup there to make sure he clips in this time.
Gainai actually got it first try in our live race a moment ago.
Alright, now Punkay already at the slide, Gainai just behind. I'm thinking a 12-6 from Punkay, 12-7 from Gainai.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same. I'll even go 12-6, 12-8. Punkay seems like the kind of guy who can get a 12-6.
Oh, definitely.
He can probably get a 12-5 if he's really try-harding, but I don't know if he's going to bring out the big guns for a pre-recorded race.
Oh, 12-7 this time.
Wow, okay. Really slacking. What are you doing, Puncayshun? Get to the gym, buddy. I mean, now that they're open, just, I don't know, get some weights off of Amazon. Set up a treadmill or an indoor bicycle or something. You gotta get your game up, my man. Also. Somebody getting a no-chill 14-6 prediction on the slide.
Okay, Punkay going with Owless first here. Gainai probably going to be Cannonless first. And Owless is nice, right? All right. Let's see, Gainai with texture setup here. Nicely done
work. 2 for 2 on quick Cannonless tonight.
And I've actually been noticing a few runners, Gainai included here, they'll like hit Mario Cam right as they're going against the wall, and I'm not sure if it's like really a placebo or if it really does help. I'm sure a lot of these runners that do it say it does help, but it's just like to try to like have a better chance of actually hitting the corner like you're wanting to. Maybe with just the old school standard Lakitu, or sorry, Cannonless setup.
Maybe it like changes your pixels ever so slightly because pressing left without that camera versus pressing left with the Mario camera might ever so slightly change it. So maybe it does something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see it. There are certainly crazier strats in this game.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Meanwhile, both runners on 100 coins now, so really neck and neck here in the early going.
A nice full cycle from Puncay to start out here. Gainai match him with the same. Nice. Great, so Puncay with a pretty nice ending so far.
Yeah, looking to have a very clean 100 coin, and I'm comfortable saying that because this race has already happened, so nothing I say can possibly affect the outcome of this race.
Yeah, avoiding
watch it still affect the outcome of this race.
Well, he is done with 100 coin at least, so Gainai having a little bit of an issue missing 1 coin, but not too costly of a backup at all.
If I'm not mistaken, there are a couple of different 100 coin routes in this stage, because I see some people get those slope coins early, some people get the circle of 8 around the flower, and some don't. And I know over time there have been a lot of improvements to this route as well.
Yeah, so you typically will see one of 3 routes being used by runners, either the half cycle, full cycle, or pro cycle route. The half is like the most basic you'll see, and that's where you start out by grabbing that line of 5 coins on that like dirt slope, then side flip over onto the line of coins that's on the stone slope. And with that, you end up like having to do some alternate movement about midway through the cycle when you're like bonking the piranha plant and other stuff. But like there's a lot of leeway in that strat. You can make a few like decent mistakes and still make the cycle pretty handily. Then full cycle, you just grab the line of the ring of 8. You like grab the tree as if you were starting Wild Blue but with a different camera angle. And by starting with that line of 8 instead of with the line of coins that's on the slope, you do still have a little leeway, but you do need to be faster and you need to do a special kind of like jump kick to get over like the slope right or the platform right above Wild Blue Star. And then finally, pro cycle is full cycle. You hit the same wooden platform cycle, but you actually grab the line of 5 on the stone, and that leaves you with basically no leeway to make any mistakes and still be able to make the wooden platform cycle. So like even runners like Puncay in a lot of races will just do full cycle instead of pro, because pro really just saves some time on the ending. But if you are able to like feel confident in like reducing that leeway, pro does save a little bit of time, just again from that faster ending.
Electric out here dropping some game knowledge. Hope y'all are taking notes. Meanwhile, I want to shout out Appalachian Aiden in the chat for predicting that Puncay is going to finish with a 140-70 star.
Gainai ending up falling down instead of grabbing the star, like trying to do some optimal movement. And does do like a pretty decent backup. He's not going to have to wait for the platform to rise again, so that's nice.
I was going back to read the chat message, so I saw that a little late. That's a big rip.
But he is moving back over to the slide now, at least. Now, Puncay, I believe, this time around is going to end up with a 12-7 again. I'm
going to go 12-6.
12-8, okay.
Wow. Puncayshun, lay off the spaghetti, buddy.
Gainai, I think, will get a 12-7, though, just to redeem these slide races.
I'm going to go another 12-8.
Gainai taking it.
We're way off.
Yeah, that's going to increase the time by a fair bit.
And the guy
if you want to see some optimal flying, here's some Puncay flying.
The guy who said 14-6 earlier might not have been too far off. Puncay flying. Oh, yeah, we should be fine here.
There's some nice turns to grab those coins. Really deep arcs with some nice ascensions that like still just save so much speed.
Puncay can do this star in his sleep.
Oh yeah. Oh, Gainai missing one of the 2 coins at the start. Yeah.
Yep.
So he will lose a few seconds having to go back for it, and it makes the ending kind of awkward for him. But okay, now moving on into Dark World. And this is where nerves can be a little bit tense. It's easy to make mistakes.
You miss it again!
Oh boy. Okay, he does grab it on this flyby though, at least.
Set up and got the roll. Well done. Great recovery strats there from Gainai. Puncay with a solid Dark World so far. Got the good cycle on the Ellies.
And so it looks like he's going to be able to get through on Shig cycle pace here. Spike Island movement looks good. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Nicely
Good
done.
job.
I'm kind of getting
It's
started with the
almost
same
like,
stage here. Yeah, Gainai's still on nice pace for Shig as well here.
Yes, Punkay is in the lead, but Gainai putting up a very solid run at the moment.
Okay, going for Pov Shig movement here just to make sure he's not having to do anything too difficult.
Yeah, I think that's what he did in the last race as well, so perhaps that's just something he's more comfortable with.
All right, nicely done. Okay, so now Punkay's going to be moving on to Sky Jump in just a moment as Gainai just has to finish off a Bowser fight.
There we go, Appalachian Aiden. Correcting his predictions, realizing now that it's a 70 and not a 120.
Telling us to mark his words. Someone go ahead and clip that little bit of chat there. We'll be able to show him whenever he ends up being wrong. I mean, if he ends up being right later on.
Maybe he's seen this run, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he hacked into the GSA servers and got an early copy.
Maybe it's Milo's alt and he's just out here flexing on us.
Punkay with a nice sky jump. Gainai
Bonk on the door from Gainai.
Right, Punkay heading to Cool Mountain for some penguin sliding action.
Imagine Punkay is going to be going for the 18 here.
All right. Now Punkay with wall kicks will work first off.
Ooh, wow,
Just
that
fall a
wall
little
kick
too
didn't
low.
work. But these ones do.
Oh, falls off
Or
this
not.
platform. That's the much more hurtful mistake. He could have still gotten like an 11 or 12 with that first backup, but with this, it's going to be a little more of a like an 18 or something.
I mean, they put that star in the game to teach you how to do wall kicks, and it looks like Puncayshun just forgot how to do wall kicks. Yeah. You know, every now and again, you just need to, go through a training at work that you know all these things, but you just need to, have somebody tell you how to do it again. Like, Gainai is apparently learning how to do slope wall kicks and something. I don't know.
Who knows, yeah.
Just overran the star there. And as I was commenting on Punkay probably going for the 18, Punkay is now going to go for the 17 as he misses a coin in front of the chimney. Looks like Gainai will be going for the 17 as well, which is a departure from what he did in the last race where he went for the 18.
Yeah, kind of an interesting decision. Like, I guess his rationale is, like, he needs to pull out all the stops against an opponent like Punkay, and he might feel like he has a fair chance of just losing either way, so he may as well do something a bit harder on the off chance that it does work well and does put him in a favorable position. But it looks like Punkay is going to be doing the same strat here.
Maybe he just feels like he needs to play Punkay's game in order to beat him.
Probably something like that, yeah.
Gainai, if you're in the chat, let us know.
All right, one more Punkay star. One more Gainai star as well. Okay, nice penguin star from Punkay here. All right, nicely finished. Just need one last quick star with wall kicks will work, and he'll be ready to go on out here.
No, he's already got wall kicks will work. He's going for a little penguin.
Oh, for some reason I thought that he already did little penguin because Punkay just had to do it. That's my bad.
Remember he went over the star?
Yup.
On the slope.
All right, so Punkay now in BBH, Gainai just behind.
Electric bad question mark?
Just completely forgetting the runs. Not like I'm already on my 3rd match of the day, and all the runs just blur together. Not like I've already
That's
commentated hundreds, if not thousands, of Mario matches at this point.
That's fair. I have commentated exactly 2, counting this one.
You gotta start somewhere. I mean, the crazy high counts have to start low at some point.
All right,
and you would think that I'd be able to know the game just a little bit better after so many matches, but you're still learning every day.
All right, story time, because we're going to be watching Punkay kill the Courtyard Boo a second time. I was briefly the statistician for my middle school basketball team, and the previous statistician was there for some reason on my first day and was like trying to take the scoreboard from me and trying to, run the scoreboard instead of me. And she's like, "Oh, I hate when they let first-time people do these." I'm like, everyone was a first time sometime.
Yeah, how are you supposed to learn to do anything if you can't?
Anyway, that's your unrelated to Mario story of the day.
How are you supposed to learn how to do anything if you can't do it for the first time? Okay. And it's really nice that, like, with this community, when someone's trying to learn something, like, people will honestly try to help unless they're just being very belligerent and, like, trying to say, like, oh, I want to do lava boost my very specific, inconsistent, and 20-second long way. Like, unless you do something like that, the community will really help you out. If you're having trouble with, like, a consistent community strat, like long jump lava boost or, like, side flip Lakitu bounce or anything, really, like, the community will help you out. People will offer to make input display videos, like...
That's justified, though.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, if you want to make your own movement that's harder and slower, you do deserve for someone to give you a bit of a wake-up call.
It's not a slow movement, it's a meme category.
Funny story mod.
It's 70.
Markinator getting confused in the chat, not aware of the wonder of Tommy Wiseau. A nice pillarless from Punkay. Working about as you'd expect. Let's see what the second try looks like here. Okay, taking the bomb, getting the grab. Tama re-grab there. The double jump coming out nice and clean, and there it is. I did not hit the bomb. This is not true. I did not hit it. I did not. Oh, hi, pillarless.
Speaking of which, you just missed a coin there. There you go.
Yeah, a little bit of a secret issue there.
Oh no! Oh no! Gainai with 2 coin misses. He's gonna have to go all the way back to the top.
Oh, okay. He's not gonna. Wow, he's taking the long way around here. There is a backup, but it's very, very difficult. That involves like triple jumping off the rail around that like sand waterfall there. But the rail is even thinner than the hitbox appears, so it's really, really difficult to accomplish. So he's got his time cut out for him at this point.
Yeah, these hitboxes on Pyramid Puzzle are weird. I know it's actually possible to get this entire star without, as he's gonna have to do the backup strats again.
Yeah, I don't know. He was trying to go a little bit faster, but not quite.
And at this point, Gainai losing upwards of a minute here, so he's going to have to hope for some serious devastation from Puncayshun. Going for the double pillarless, not a strategy he usually takes, certainly as per the last run.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, he missed it the third time!
Gainai sitting there saying, "You're lying, I ledge grabbed! You're tearing me apart, Pyramid!"
And at this point, when does he just turn off the console and say GG? Because he's actually going to take a death there.
I think he will respawn at the top of the pyramid. I believe taking a death like from a top entrance does respawn at the top. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, so a quick retry here. Well, let's see.
So now we know why Gainai is not presently in the chat.
So he does have those 3 secrets, and he's about to get the secret star now. All right.
No lie, if I'm Gainai, I'm turning off my console, saying GG, and not making my face shown for another week. So props to Gainai for sticking with it. Certainly more heart than I have.
Yeah, this is where you list your console on eBay. That's that kind of mistake. We're waiting for Mario to have a stroke in THI. It's not impossible. Gainai going for a second plus real quick. Something tells you I like the room. What could possibly tell you that? Oh, hi, Danny. Danny, two's company, but three's a crowd. Okay, I need to force myself to stop. I'm just quoting things that aren't even relevant. Okay, lava boost time for Punkay, going with long jump boost here. No pro shenanigans today. Nice.
SSL just ended this whole man's career.
It's
you
valid.
You have to have desperate strategies when you're facing Puncayshun, but this is a little extreme.
Yeah, it definitely cost him way more than he even could have potentially gained there. Like, he's still not quite done with SSL, and Punkay's making major headway into LLL now. One more Volcano Star left, just a real quick pop on up the elevator tour. No real elevator movement required, just a quick little triple.
Okay, well, that's going to be a
Punkay
little harder said than done, I suppose.
Yeah, Punkay just not quite getting the triple there. Just hurt and confused by Lisa. I mean LLL, the volcano specifically. He might just turn off the console and go try to play some football.
Tommy Wiseau earning all of GSA's royalties this week.
Cat, please get off my keyboard. Thank you.
Gainai with another red miss. He did that in the last match.
All right, now Punkay headed over to his bully stars real quick. All right, big bully kill here. This long jump here is actually a little bit finicky to time. If you miss time it, you could end up ledge grabbing on one of these falling platforms here. Okay, you see Gainai's fatal mistake is in THI, but if you're really psychic, you would have said something about the SSL mistake. Just throwing that out there. Okay, bonking the wall real quick. One of the shortest walls in the game, but when you try to slide kick into it, it can be a little bit frustrating and challenging sometimes.
If Punkay gets a 49-23 and Gainai still manages to get within a minute after that SSL, we're going to have to start doing GSA drug testing.
Well, what would we test? The runners or the consoles?
Yes.
The consoles being confiscated for doping.
Breaking news. All of Nintendo 64 banned from GSA. Super Mario 64 will now be run on the Sega Dreamcast. Sega. Mario has been doping. Yeah, I mean, given the fact that he can, kick off of walls and fly.
The fact that he can fall like 50 feet and like every bone in his body apparently gets crushed by his pancake, but he just kind of gets up and starts walking again after. Like, I'm a little concerned. Just a little.
Yeah, he's on drugs. Never mind. I'm not going to finish that because I like my job and I do not want to get fired for making...
He's using that mushroom dust, makes him feel invincible.
I'm glad you said it and not me.
Okay, Punkay a little bit too tight on his arc with that chest, but a really nice backup there. Just staying very calm and clean. This Gainai triple bully kill.
Triple, almost.
Yeah, as good as he really could have gotten. He definitely stopped like a little early there, but kind of made it up afterwards.
And he had a lot of trouble in the live race, so we now know that he's solid at the triple bully kill. He had a world of trouble in the 7 o'clock. Of course, this race is pre-recorded, taking place at some point in the past. We are uncovering this archive for the first time for you.
Oh, Gainai a little bit late on his triple jump, so not quite working out. Gonna be, he was trying to do the sign triple there, but another burn, and that's gonna be another death in LLL this time. And so Punkay rear sub, gonna be finishing out DDD with just a quick Manta Star real quick.
Aiden clarifying that he didn't mention SSL because of the 500 character limit. I think at this point a 50-23 is pretty gone, but
Gainai just struggling hard throughout basement. This looks like the type of like fire sea time like estimate that I would be getting in one of my runs or something. Just a lot of unfortunate mistakes costing a ton of time, unfortunately.
I mean, to be fair, I'd be at like 12 stars at this point, so I'm not gonna hate too much on the winners.
Okay, Punkay now in Fire Sea. Let's see if Lava Boost is on the table. That's one of the major advantages of just being such a long-standing player. You've done this so many times that the cycle is fairly consistent for you.
Yeah, I imagine Punkay's Fire Sea has got to be right. I mean, I was gonna say it has to be right up there with the best. Punkay is right up there with the best, and arguably is one of the best as he takes the burn strat.
Yeah, so purposely losing just a tiny bit of time just for a really easy strat, not messing with the double wall kick. That's gonna kill Lava Boost though. Not early Ellies. He can definitely still get early Ellies just fine, but needs to hurry up on these elevators. He avoids the bullies.
Gotta hurry. Does he have it? Oh, just barely.
You're taking a really deep turn before his double jump there.
Of course, because of his lead, he does have plenty of time. So not a particularly devastating fall there.
Kind of a weird ending he had to take, but still very fast.
Plot twist, Appalachian Aiden was right with these times when he thought this was 120 star. These runs just fall apart way more than SSL.
Punkay gets a crooked cart and just restarts the run entirely, and then Gainai just resets, but then realizes he never saved. And yet they both continue, neither of them forfeits.
Gainai, and granted, he's not doing this, but I'm going to say it anyway, Gainai just spends like an hour trying to do front sub, and then Puncayshun as a flex just resets in Tippy and starts over and still wins.
Okay, Gainai, one last DDD star, and he'll be finally into Fire Sea, but Punkay, like, with a multiple minute lead at this point.
Missing some rings here. Of course, these rings have notoriously janky hitboxes. Where's that fifth ring? There it is. I think Pan and Koic it was who made a really interesting video on those manta ray rings if you ever want to learn more about it.
Yeah, it's like there's a bug on how the game generates their hitboxes. So the first 6 are fairly fine, but then after that they start like turning sideways effectively. So you really, really want to get that strat optimally and get the first 5 rings. Otherwise you could be in a world of hurt trying to collect the others. Okay, Gainai already taking issue on LLL, or I'm sorry, on Fire Sea. That'll probably prevent Lava Boost. Early Ellies could maybe still happen, but he needs really tight movement, and you can tell from that rage pause he's already very tilted. Yeah, early Ellies is probably out of the question now too.
Yeah, all of these mistakes just piling up for Gainai. You know he's not in the best mental state right now, and that's really going to hurt his play down the stretch.
Yeah, I think like this is the same type of stuff that we were seeing in the last race too. Like it just, Fire Sea is a very easy stage to develop a lot of tilt and just not be able to play well at a point. Just have a lot of hard melting down.
And I mean, if I'm Puncayshun,
he just cannot grab this coin. He might even miss another cycle potentially.
Now, this is obviously no insult to Gainai because, again, Gainai would wipe the floor with me if we were ever to race. But Puncayshun, probably, even if he's like playing cheese or D whatever, just plays his own game. He's just going for as fast of a time as possible. I wonder if Gainai, just because he knows he's playing Puncayshun, kind of has that in the back of his head, has it ultimately change his strategies for the worse, because obviously we saw him try double pillarless and lost a ton of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of like the ability to ask what if. I definitely think if Gainai had played the pillarless situation more conservative, we wouldn't be seeing quite as big of a deficit, but like ultimately when he makes...
I've never seen that before.
Taking a lot of like kind of strange movement to try to end this and just like losing even more time to not being able to get an ending. Finally grabbing the star though, and he's going to be advancing to the fight. It's going to be like a 30-minute Fire Sea time. That's Really unfortunate for Gainai.
I mean, he had a pretty solid 53 even with some mistakes, so we know he's a good player. Not really playing his best at a moment when he really needs his best.
And I think it's really just like I kind of said earlier, like when you make a big mistake somewhere, like what he did in SSL, it's really hard to recover from that mentally, and you can lose a lot of your focus.
Exactly, and again, that's not a knock on Gainai at all. That would happen to anyone.
So Gainai now finished up with Fire C at a 29:44 or so. So definitely not quite the time he wanted, but Punkay finally on the last star of Wet Dry World. So Gainai not completely out of the contention just yet. Just a full stage behind. Yeah, the commentary is live, but the run itself was pre-recorded in this case.
Yep, it's just me, Electric, and our restreamer in a call as we're watching an old video. Except for the chat. The chat is being spliced in live. Spliced run doesn't count.
The THI coming up for Punkay. Meanwhile, Gainai heading on through Wet Dry World real quick. I don't know if y'all just heard that, but my cat just like freaked out and did a donut in my living room. I don't know what's going on with them.
My parents have a puppy. He just does donuts for like 5 minutes straight. It's great.
Okay, so Gainai has finally triggered the elevator to come down. Let's see these wall kicks real quick. This Punkay finishes up with the nice secrets.
Yeah, really solid secrets. As Gainai continuing to struggle, and he's going to have to wait for that elevator to come back down at this point, I think. Can take one last shot at it. Oh, he gets there.
Okay, nice, nice.
Great
sometime right in front of the star with that slide. But yeah, he doesn't have to reactivate the elevator. That's the worst feeling if you miss the elevator and have to reactivate it.
And a great job clipping by Punkay. Going for the quick clip strats and gets it perfectly.
And then one more quick Piranha killing star from Punkay, and then we're going to see a progression over into TTM. Gainai already missing a coin right at the start of 100 coin here.
Yeah, really. Oh, almost had a chance to go get it, but
yeah,
loses his save.
Deciding not to, and we'll see if that pays off.
There's a coin box on the bridge with the stars, so it's not a huge time loss if you miss, but obviously, you know, time
it's not
loss
something you want to
add up
have to take ultimately.
Exactly.
Yeah, didn't quite activate the secret, so I'm going to run back for it real quick. That's one instance where if you want to make sure that you did something, you have to have game audio, because there's no visual cue that you can see on that box or the next metal box. Like there is a visual cue that comes up, but only after you've pushed the box even further than you need to activate it. So you'd be losing time if you waited for that visual cue.
Punkay, of course, getting the hardest star in the game, the Toad Star.
Gainai, I don't quite understand why he went for that coin, but the backup worked out, so he was pretty much fine with it. Okay.
Punkay missing
trying for breezeless. Yeah, but the wall kick just not connecting. The angle wasn't right. Okay, Gainai needs to take a backup here. Okay, he's not playing it super risky at least. No, he is. And it's not quite going to pay off. A little bit too far to the right.
Almost gets
that wall kick. Okay, yeah, I wasn't quite expecting that to work. I don't know why he's going for such an angled triple jump here. He really doesn't need it.
Meanwhile, Punkay with the beginner's error of ground pounding when he has to long jump.
Wait, Gainai. Oh no, Gainai just grabbed the secret star without.
Oh no! Oh my goodness.
Okay, so honestly, like I think the play is really just go ahead and get Snowman's Land's reds or something. Like you don't really want to go back and try to do 100 coin again or anything like that. Like he may have done that, not really realizing that he could still get 100 coin very quickly. You just need to do like a ROM hack style triple jump where you do a jump kick, holding back on the stick, and then as you're coming down for your double jump, start holding forward. And if you do it properly, you can do a triple jump in very, very little space. It's actually a strat you see in SSL and 120 star. For some people do it for topless to get on top of like the IROC stage entrance.
He's taking a fall there, and he's gonna get the backup on the mushroom.
Yeah, but either Gainai didn't really think about that and just thought that getting a different star would waste less time than getting all 5 of his extra coins, or like it was just muscle memory. Like he assumed that he fell after the 100 coin star or something weird like that. I don't know what exactly happened there, but it's weird decision making from Gainai on that. And I definitely hope he realizes it because he needs a backup for that.
Yeah. Ryder Lunga, what happened was he had 95 coins and accidentally grabbed the star he spawned instead of the 100 coin star. So it was 95 coins for naught. He'll have to grab an extra and either Snowman's Land, and he's gonna go for
so he's doing THI Reds actually. This is a fairly rare star. That it is faster than Snowman's Land Reds, but it is fairly risky as well to do quickly. So let's see what he pulls out here. Punkay with some. Punkay failing the rollout, so he's gonna take.
Wow.
Reds. Gainai missing a wall kick there. Nice backup, but hitting his head on the top of the board. All right, this time is going to be good. Okay. We got Gainai coming out with THI Reds here. Nice execution.
More TTM Reds, so 2 different Reds all at once. So this is a much better run than the last one.
All right, so Gainai with a nice start there. No deaths in THI Reds, which is really like the biggest thing. Dying there just wastes so much time because you do not respawn inside that gate. All right, so Punkay, head on over to Snowman's Land. Gainai pulling out secrets real quick. A nice little like backup involving that Goomba, but then the unfortunate burn. Okay, nice little slide there.
Solid Snowman's Head from Punkay. Somebody dropping a Puncayshun Nation Rise Up. Let's see it from you guys. Who are you rooting for in this contest?
All right, Punkay now with Whirl from the Freezing Pond. To me, that star name is the hardest for me to recall most of the time because the strat is nothing like what the casual strat would be. Like, and instead it's just jump over this hill and ground pound. No,
Gainai with the
Freezing
nice
Pond.
Gainai. Hello? Gainai just died.
Oh, no. Okay, Gainai was trying to do mountain clip and I think like went too far to the right or something.
Yep. Exactly right.
That's an unfortunate death.
So, for Leo died again asking in the chat, there's not a strictly glitchless category because there are just so many glitches in this game. But the 70 star skips the backwards long jump glitch, which is the main glitch in the game. Hopefully you're familiar with it. If not, one of us can do a brief explainer, but there are glitches in all categories, to my knowledge, again, just because they're so prevalent in this game that it's really hard to adjudicate what's a glitch and what isn't.
Yeah, like obviously like clipping through things is glitchy, but a lot of what we do is just kind of exploiting the geometry, taking jumps that the developers may not have expected, and like taking the rules of the like internal game engine to their extremes. Like a lot of the tech in this game involves specific behavior of like how Mario will jump on a slope, how Mario will jump after a long jump, like how Mario's angles get set during jumps, just various little things that developers may not have thought of. But ultimately, it's the equivalent of a no major glitches category because, like my co-com said, like BLJ and Mips Clip are both banned. So it just like it's a good definition. Like you just need the normal requirement to beat the game, and like what you do within that scope to get that requirement is up to you. Besides BLJ's. But like it makes a lot more sense than trying to make like a glitchless category or like a bug limit category or something like that for this game. Just because like BLJs are such a different type of movement and glitch from what the other exploits in this game involve. Like with BLJs, like it becomes more about your like rhythm of mashing and like how exactly you're angling the stick during very fast movement. Whereas like all the other like exploits and little glitches in this game, there are some frame perfect ones, but for the most part, like they're about precision and how exactly you're moving Mario. So
honestly, I think if we did a no glitches run, we'd have to DQ everyone because at some point they'd accidentally do a glitch, or everyone would just clip through the spiral stairs.
One of the other commentators like put forth the idea once of doing a intended route for star run where you have to do whatever the title for the star says. So like roll from the freezing pond, you have to jump on one of the up drifts in the freezing pond to get to that star in order for it to count in this category. Like it'd be interesting to see little things like that, seeing how these things are actually supposed to be done.
Wall clips will work. You have to use the cannon.
Yeah, and just various things like that. But like a lot of this unintentional movement, like in TTM, you do a mountain clip, which is glitchy, but then like you do like triple jump and potentially even a kick up a slope, which takes advantage of how like kicking up a slope, you're able to keep like reverting and gaining enough speed so where you don't slide down and you're able to like skip up an area like that. But it's a lot of exploiting, like you're using intended game mechanics in unintended ways, which is different than like completely unintended game mechanics like DLJs. Gainai coming out with reds real quick, and remember Punkay did take a death on this earlier. Gainai is getting past the shrooms where Punkay took a death. Nice side flip walk. Oh, ooh. I spoke a little too soon.
Bummer. That was really good reds. Let's see if
Punkay a lot of trouble side flipping.
Got it. What a boss.
Yeah, nice job on Christmas Miracle from Punkay.
Is that what it's called? Christmas Miracle?
Yeah, because like before the trick was well understood.
Oh no!
Man.
Gainai, what is going on?
Gainai just such an unfortunate like little bop to the wrong direction. Wow. So Christmas Miracle got its name from like when runners first started trying to use that strat, they didn't fully understand what was causing the switch to be pressed or not to be pressed. And so like it was just considered a Christmas miracle if you got the switch press. But later it was like found that it's a combination of like various factors, and like the best way to make sure that you're gonna get it is like diving at a particular time as you're falling, and like trying to make sure that you get the max height out of your triple and a like early frame full A press wall kick, so that you have as much height as possible before you fall. Gainai, no, not another. I think there's a breeze that he can hit. Nope, not quite. Oh man, that's like 2 minutes or a minute and a half or something that he's losing to the star for the same mistake twice.
Going back to Christmas Miracle, I love this community's ability to take this craft so seriously, and yet we still have time to inject quite a bit of humor into our category naming.
All right, Gainai. Unfortunately, just cannot get through reds at the moment. Like I think he might be given a forfeit at this point. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna take a moment to breathe, perhaps.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Sometimes you really just need to put the controller down for just a sec and then pick it back up when you can. This is a tortoise in the hare scenario where Gainai will catch up when Punkay takes his nap before Bowser in the sky. Yeah. That makes sense.
Punkay will decide to start doing a 120 star, and then Gainai will sneak back in and get the win.
Yeah, so Gainai is definitely going to be forfeiting this one. As you can see, like the timer reset there. It's unfortunate to see, but these things just do end up happening sometimes. Which it's understandable when you see just the number of mistakes that Gainai was making. Like if you don't run this game, it might be kind of hard to understand, but when you make enough mistakes, at a point you're just miserable playing the game, and you get to a point where you just don't feel like playing. You would rather do anything else or just reset the run and start all over. And in a race, like it takes a very strong mentality to make a lot of mistakes like this and still like just persevere and just finish for the heck of it. So like honestly, props to Gainai for lasting as long as he did, because a lot of people would end up being tilted enough that they would have quit way earlier.
I mean, I made the comment that I would have quit in SSL, so... Yeah. And, you know, ultimately, this is a video game. It's supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, take a break, take a breather, go do something else. So, you know, we certainly don't want to, you know, put these players through the ringer. It's not like this is their job. This is ultimately a recreation for them. I'm sorry, I was laughing at Mario falling over there on his nap. But Leo, he could have, in theory, caught up to get some tiebreaker points, but Gainai is not in a position where he will be making the playoffs, I don't believe. I think there's 1 week left, and he's 2 or 3 games out.
Yeah.
So points ultimately not really mattering, and even if he finished the run, it's not certain just because of the way that the tiebreaker points were exactly as Morris just said. He had to finish within 5 minutes, and I think at that point, Gainai realized that probably wasn't going to happen with Punkay. Maybe not at his 100% best, but certainly at his 90, 95% best on a great run, whereas Gainai just had a couple slip-ups in shifting sandland, and from there the run just sort of catapulted downwards.
Yeah, and one thing to note too is just like the only real thing that Gainai was gonna try to finish for. Oh boy. Okay, Punkay avoiding the heave ho at least. That's good. Like you do lose points if you forfeit before your opponent finishes, but at this point, like you said, like with already probably being out of playoff contention, like when you get to the point that you just can't really make yourself play anymore, like that's it. It's understandable. Punkay with some nice backup movement here after that fall. There's some stuff that I wasn't fully expecting coming out here. Yeah, if you leave Mario alone for long enough, he'll just start saying like, oh, spaghetti.
Mom. Can both players forfeit? I guess in theory. What would we do? I don't think we have a plan for that. Maybe we do.
Yeah, I believe that like the runner that forfeits later, like if they did want full points, they would need to finish their run, but I'm sure like there would be some sort of provision if they both forfeited for the one that forfeited later to end up getting some kind of point or something.
Forfeited right here, you would still get the win with another point, something like that. Maybe it's just a draw. I don't know. I don't know if we've ever had a draw in GSA.
Right, 66 stars for Punkay, a few more left. Like in a game like this, like they'd have to finish within a 30th of a second to have a true draw. Otherwise, like you can definitely declare a winner even if it's by frames. So like, that I could definitely see like a draw maybe happening someday, but it would be very, very rare. If they choose to, Leo, like the runners aren't forced to watch each other race, so some of them will run like kind of isolated and not really keep track of where their opponent is, and some of them will purposely like keep a lot of track of where their opponent is.
No sense in really quote unquote screen cheating like a multiplayer game, because obviously Punkay and Gainai have played this game thousands of times.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like they're learning anything new.
Oh, Punkay here showing off like that star is so close to that wall that you can kick that wall and grab the star within like the same couple frames. And so you keep your momentum through the star grab and you can grab it on the death plane. It loses like 2 or 3 seconds, but it's still so cool.
I suppose at this point, Punkay knows that Gainai won't be finishing his run.
He likely should. Gonna be going for moving reds now.
Yeah, at this point, Punkay with nothing to gain or lose, going for the strats.
Nicely done moving reds.
I can't see the purple name, but Gainai forfeited. Unfortunately, just had a really rough run and couldn't stick with it.
All right, one more from Punkay, and he's going to be in bits.
I'm glad Punkay's at least being a good sport here. I would do something crazy like just go downstairs and do like Bob 100 coins just to make everyone suffer.
Or just like do HMC metal cap. HMC takes a long time to get to from the lobby. And metal cap is such a long start. Just go out and get the vanish cap real quick.
Crawl all the way through Bowser in the sky.
Oh god.
And then beat Bowser and just like jump off instead of getting the star.
Beat Bowser in standard Mario cam.
Bowser reds for no reason.
God, trying to use Mario cam for Bowser throws is just so messed up. All right. Oh, Punkay, instead of jump diving, taking just a big standard dive there. Right
And Gainai with the epic strats here, turning Mario into a traffic.
Yeah.
Yes,
By turning the game off, he's the true winner here, as some would say. Right, Punkay, round 2 on the triple, and it is good this time.
Remember, kids, winners never quit, and quitters never do drugs. I think I mixed up some slogans there.
Okay, not speaking like he wanted. Okay, now he's getting the movement that he wants. Really nice.
Wilco's playing next, Arlen. Fairy Nuff Muffin says, I once saw him do Rainbow Ride Reds plus 100 in a race because his opponent forfeit. He also went to Jolly Roger Bay.
In like my first ever 70 run, I skipped out on the back half of TTC and grabbed like 3 things in Jeremy just because I was not having it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the one time I've ever actually run this category, I had like an hour 47. I think I got 2 or 3 stars in JRB. Just completely ignored the
actual route.
Yeah. I just got the 70 stars that I thought were the after dying like 20 times.
So Punkay missed the first throw, but the second throw will be good here, and just needs one more for like mid 50. A little bit of a high time for Punkay, but still a totally fine race time. All right, and with that, Punkay's gonna be finishing up with like a 48, 47 or something like that. 50, 48, I think it's gonna be the final time.
Yep, there we go.
Crawling to the start, yep. Yep. I'm gonna wait for 51, I guess. Okay.
Hey,
59.
51.
Okay. All right.
GG's to both runners. Obviously not the way we would like to see it end, but Punkay keeping the crowd entertained. GG's to both runners, and I know we'll be seeing much more of Punkay in this season. Gainai does have one match next week against JJSRL, and Puncayshun will have the anchor leg next week against Wilco as a tune-up for the playoffs.
Yep, and stick around, folks. Speaking of Wilco, we've got Wilco versus Rock Chalk as our last race of the night. But for now, I'm Electric, joined in the booth by I Am Not Cola. Are you sticking around after this one, or?
I don't think there's anyone scheduled for the 9 o'clock, so I'd love to stay.
Oh, okay. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to have all of you in the viewer area. We'll be right back in just a few minutes after a quick intermission, so stay tuned once again for Wilco versus Rock Chalk coming up in just a few minutes.
They are synced now. Do whatever. In the lead again.
Wow. Side for sure from Cheese. Okay, doing it, moving. Oh no, the Cheese falls!